like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree?
Subscribe to videos.
No, subscribe to Nana's channel.
Subscribe to Nana's channel.
Good job.
So yeah, they blocked me from the other page, which is
wow.
But it's totally okay. Thank you for being so flexible. I really do appreciate it. Can you guys hear me? How's the audio sound?
It's
Can you hear me?
good. Yeah, that's better.
Okay. I can also, I don't know if it, you said audio's good? Audio's
Yeah,
good?
sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's better. So, how are you ladies feeling tonight? I know it's almost about to be 11 o'clock where you are in Atlanta. We're over here in LA, so it's 7:42. But
Yeah.
you wanted me to turn off the comments? Are you?
Oh yes, that'll be good. I mean, you could. Yeah, you could turn them off. Yeah, let's turn them off.
Okay. Okay. So so how are you ladies feeling today?
Well, you know, a lot of people keep asking us like how we're feeling, and I be really sitting thinking about that because our husband just got a really, really major sentence, and I could hear an echo. Could you hear it too, or is that just on our end?
Not this echo. They keep following us around everywhere.
Yeah. Can you hear it or you can't hear it?
Using my assistant for my commentary. My background is loud. Public service announcement. And none of these women married to Nature Boy. They can be called girlfriends at best. Y'all need to stop this. Sugar, honey, ice, tea.
Us around everywhere.
Yeah. Can you hear it or you can't hear it?
I cannot hear an echo. What about if I try and?
It's fine when you talk, but it's when we speak, it's like an echo.
Yeah. Okay. Have you guys tried to clean out your speakers at all?
I'm trying.
Like this echo has been following us around for the last 30 minutes now. I'm gonna adjust it and readjust it.
Okay, is that better? Well, I don't hear nothing right
you said it was
now.
It was from my end. Echo, no echo. Echo, go away.
Yeah, I guess it's just it's small. They said it's small. They can hear it.
Oh, they can hear it. Okay, yeah, interesting. Wow.
Is it
come out and come
disturbing? I mean, they saying it's good now. It's good now. Let me see. Maybe if I turn it down.
Talking.
I know. Right.
Some audio.
Because I know I could hear it, but
I don't know what that is.
Start talking.
And why should
they hear it again.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's just try to exit and come back, and then fingers crossed,
that it works. We've been struggling with this echo for a minute now. Yeah.
Okay. Have you tried restarting your device at all?
We're gonna try that. I'm gonna try.
Okay. Because when I looked, when I looked it up, it said cleaning out the speakers may help. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try that and see what happens. Okay. I'm gonna drop and then come back. I'm not sure how to. You might have to put me down.
Start your phone. I'm gonna restart mine too, and then we'll come back.
All right.
Okay, guys, so they ended this live and they struck it right back up. So let's get into the rest of this live interview with Aya, a.k.a. Laya, a.k.a. Portia Wade, and Efaru, a.k.a. Kayla Buckner. Now, I'm just curious to know, where is Malia, a.k.a. Tanisha Dulay? Haven't seen her in a while. I think we need to put her on a milk carton, y'all. What y'all think? Let me know in the comments.
And then having an unfair trial. Yeah. This whole time, having bad representation, us not knowing too much about the legal process.
Ms. Wade, how old are you?
Hold on. Before Ms. Wade answers my question, she has no papers. Yeah, she can't.
Okay, you won't be able to use those, Ms. Wade. You'll have to turn
Can you
those
grab
in.
them from her, please?
Sure, Judge.
I cannot use my notes.
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Ma'am, can you grab them from her, please?
Sure, Judge.
I cannot use my notes.
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Ma'am.
I cannot use my notes.
No, ma'am.
Why not? I cannot use my notes.
No, ma'am.
Why not? I cannot use my notes.
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Ma'am. The law.
And how it goes, and it is very stressful, but we hold it together because we know that we have to count on each other, and especially right now because he just got sentenced to life plus 10 years without the possibility of parole. So we're in the process of appealing that decision now.
Right. And it has been tough, just seeing the amount of defamation of character that how they're painting him out to be. It's very disturbing. Because we've always dealt with this, but at a smaller scale when it came to like our online trolls, or we call them critics, the haters online. But now it's like it's to another level to where news channels are saying alleged cult leader and playing all these videos. It's like straight defamation of character. People are making having talk shows about him like they know him, and it's just very disturbing. So I thank you for this just open and clean path platform, because you're genuinely interested in like the case and like what we've been going through, because it's a lot of drama with people that Eligio has helped, our husband has helped, and it's just crazy how people are just kind of feeding off of his name in a negative way. So I'm thankful.
Okay, definitely. So I know you mentioned that there's some issues with how you feel that there's misrepresentation of, the group. How would you like to be represented when people talk about what was formerly known as carbonation, now is imagination? How do you guys how would you guys like to be referred as? Like, what would be the appropriate
Yeah.
term?
So I know that we started this live. We had just started talking, but for everybody who's new, who are coming in the room, I do want to introduce
Mm-hmm.
myself and introduce ourselves so that everybody knows what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I go by Mama Aya, or Goddess Aya,
Goddess Ephraim.
Goddess Ephru, and our husband is Eligio Bishop. People know him as Nature Boy. That's what everyone knows him mostly as. So when we talk about what we want to people to actually view us as or see us as, is that we have to remember that at the same time he's a human being. A lot of people don't get to see his light and see what a good person that he really is. And you know, because he has this big light and he has this big message to share with the world, a lot of people don't like him. And they've made it a thing to go after him and everyone that is around him who agree in spreading this truth, and they just attack us. If you go and research and put in his name or put in our names right now, you're going to see a bunch of hate. You're going to see a bunch of labels that don't represent who we truly are. We're not a cult.
Right.
That, and we time and time again we explain it to many different people, and the sound intellectual minds, they get it. But for everyone who is like jumps on bandwagons and stuff like that, it's more easier for them to hate than to actually know more about who we are.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, um,
I ain't even finna hold y'all, but I know she didn't. No, she did not, y'all. I know Aya, aka Laya, aka Portia Wade, did not just fix her mouth talking about some only sound intellectual minds understand who they are. Child, please take several seats. Anybody with good sense, anybody with the good sense that God gave a goat sees that you guys are involved in a cult. Y'all look like a cult, act like a cult. It's a cult.
Mhm.
and so, yeah, um, it is a shame because a lot of people during this time I have gotten to see how ugly people can be. You know, how ugly people can be in wishing something bad to happen to a person, you know. So I
Yeah.
don't agree with it at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, would you say that instead of being labeled like a cult, it's more maybe focusing on like the polygamy of the situation that you guys are like in a polygamous kind
I
of?
would say that we always refer to it as a family
Mm,
because our husband, Eligio, he started off this journey by himself.
Yeah.
He was in a room, he decided and felt within himself that he wanted to partake on a spiritual journey and get more in tune with nature and come back to a more natural state as a human being and be a part of the ecosystem. And so he took it upon himself to um, kind of separate himself from the everyday life, the fast paced life of society, and he pretty much just shared his whole journey online, and he would teach about the technologies of the body. He taught about grounding, the importance of connecting to the earth. He teaches about melanin, biology, quantum physics. These are just things that he taught on his social media and platform, and people who would watch his videos would take an interest, and he inspired many people to also do the same thing.
Yeah.
And some of these people actually asked, like, hey, can I come with you on your journey? Tell people, these are the processes to take when you come into your natural state, because you can't just do a quick switch like that. You have to start by changing your diet, um you know uh having natural hair as women, taking the dye out of your hair. It's the step-by-step process. And so other people decided that they wanted to take that process too.
mhm,
And he actually opened his home. He opened his doors to his home to people who, said that they wanted to live the same way.
Guys, this is a moment that I have personally anticipated. This book is now available for pre order, authored by Janae Newell. The title is Lesson Learned. Janae shares a part of her journey with us, and I am looking forward to this amazing read. I myself am already on the pre order list. If you're interested in being one of the first people to get this book, definitely hit Janae up on IG. Her IG is janae.alexandria. So hit her DM, let her know you're interested, and be sure to let her know that Medea sent you.
And we always called it a family. He always called it a family. We all,
Yeah.
what we say, family is frequency. The people who you grow up with, that might be your blood, but you might not get along with them. Sometimes,
mhm,
the friends that we were closer to the friends that we have than family, because, just energy and chemistry.
mhm.
Yeah.
So we always, family frequency, the people who think like you, those are the people that you will be able to relate more to. And
Okay.
so since we it is a big change coming from, the
Traditional.
industrialized, yeah, society, and coming back into nature. it is a big difference. And when you start tapping into certain parts of yourself, people that you used to hang around probably not going to get you no more. So we he these people came into his home, and it was just a family. And then something happened where this one young lady came. She was a European lady, and her family black made it a big deal that she took that step for herself. And then that's when the media started calling him a cult leader.
Okay,
That's where that came from.
Sunray or
Yeah.
Sunshine or
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where that came
yeah.
from. We actually made a video. It's on our Instagram and YouTube.
Medea.
And this Instagram is actually pinned. We made a video on how this isn't a cult.
Yeah.
But he said, okay, if everybody's going to keep calling me a cult, I'm just going to say, okay, I'm a culture. I'm a culture.
Yeah,
Like,
he
can you make
actually
something
defines
positive?
it and
Yeah.
breaks it down because people start throwing these terms around
And don't know
and
what they
don't know what they
mean.
actually mean.
Yeah.
So he says, okay, if you're gonna call me a code, I'm gonna look at what it means. And code actually means cultivate or to grow something. And it's not in the light that people are making it seem. Like we're black, so we're not like these other weird
Jim Jones, whatever.
Jim, these other circumstances or whatever they have, Jim Jones and Jeffrey Dahmers and stuff like that. We're nowhere near
right.
that.
Charles
You know,
Manson.
no, we're not
Right.
nowhere near like that. We're just a bunch of people who think the same way that he did, and we did enter his personal life. That's how we're like, wait a minute. Everybody's saying that there's isolation and things like that. I don't understand
People were
how,
aware.
because it's like they use that we lived far away from other people as a way to say that we were isolated. But you can't be too that much isolated if everyone has their phone and their own social media accounts in which they can reach and talk to anybody whom they want to. You know, it's not like some real life situation that I just read on the news where somebody was there was a group of people that this person had locked in the basement for several years without anything. It's not that type of situation.
Okay. So let's the court case, because I know that that is really important to you guys in terms
Yes.
of, a lot of people are trying to figure out how he got sentenced to life without parole plus 10 years. Understandably, the things that he was charged with. However,
For everybody that's out here on Beyonce's internet who still has questions as to why Elihu Bishop, aka Nature Boy, got life plus 10 years with no possibility of parole, take a look at this clip. I've zoomed in on his face. This is his actual face as he listens to the best evidence that the prosecution presented in his trial.
Rape her, and I myself was born. This is my girl. Why would I rape her? And then she left. She left in the middle. She just left. First of all, she had to leave. No, this is what happened. Let me tell you exactly what happened. Okay. When I'm in the room, I'm gonna be all the way real with you. I'm gonna boom her. I'm like, this is my girl. She's about to leave because she's mad. She's emotional. She's getting emotional because we're doing what's going. She could be getting it together. And she's like, I give up. I don't want to do this no more. And I'm, counting. So I'm like, hey, chill out. You don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I hugged her. And when she's like, no. And I'm like, and when she's like, no. And I'm like, and when she's like, no. And when she's like, no. And when she's like, no. And I'm like, and when she's like, no. And I'm like, and when she's like, no. And when she's like, no. Babe, how it is. Like, it wasn't no, stop. No, I would never. It was like, babe, chill out. And she's
I ain't even finna hold y'all, but when that part came up, I was looking dead at him. I could see the beads of sweat just forming on his forehead because he realized that he done messed up. He done confessed during that interview, he done messed up.
Understandably, the things that he was charged with. However, you guys feel as though, and have compiled some information where, presenting where you feel that it was actually more in terms of like a malicious prosecution and feeling like they kind of just put him on trial, I guess, for
For
all the
other
stuff that he had.
things.
Right.
Yeah, he was on trial for everything other than what the charges were.
Mm-hmm.
We were actually there like that night. And when you go and watch our testimonies, you will see that they asked us the main questions that they should have been asking, which was about that night. It wasn't as important to them.
Mm-mm.
They only asked us about two, three questions tops about that night, and
If
even
that.
if that,
Mm-hmm.
and so the other focus was surrounding the other things that they had, cult and control and things like that, but not for the charges.
Mm-hmm.
If we take a look at the charges, you will see what the girl said. She said that they made love. She said that what she wanted was love from the family, and because she didn't get that, she wanted to go. She said that it felt fake, because he thought that all I wanted was dick, and but I really wanted love,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't get that, so I wanted to go. Like there, she describes the situation, and the state did not prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
And when she's like, no, and I'm like, and when she's like, no, and I'm like, and when she's like, no, and when she's like, no, and I'm, but like, how it is, like, it's
That this actually happened. Like they didn't prove it.
Yeah.
What kind of
Um,
evidence did they bring in to support did they have any like rape kits or anything like that?
no,
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 they use their testimonies as evidence.
right.
And so pretty much they used hearsay as evidence. When I was on the stand, I was explaining my side of the story, and the prosecution said objection hearsay. I'm like, this whole case is
It's
hearsay.
hearsay. Yeah,
So
yeah. They used all the videos they used
yeah.
were of his online character. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. And that's no way for justice to be ran, because we in a time where social media, the Supreme Court just overturned the murder conviction recently because of social media and them using these videos to persuade a jury. And our case was not fair because none of the things that they showed to try to prove their case was about those allegations,
Mm-hmm.
and when it was our turn to actually come in. You okay?
Sorry.
Wrong.
I was
The wrong.
Went down the wrong pipe.
actually getting over a little cold. Can you hold
Oh,
on 1 second? I do apologize.
yeah.
Jesus.
Uh-oh.
Not reported technical problem.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes.
can hear you.
I do apologize. As you can tell, I kicked over the whole stand.
It's okay.
Interested in a great read? Check out Greatness is a Habit authored by Aaron Dixon, also known as True. Many of you know him as True. He has authored this amazing read. The book is available on Apple Books. Get your copy today and stay motivated to win.
I do apologize. As you can tell, I kicked over the whole stand.
It's okay.
Okay, give me 1 second. I do apologize.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I know that we talk about this a lot,
Mhm.
but I feel like this is something that if any one of y'all were in this type of situation, I would think that y'all would want somebody to speak up for y'all if you couldn't at the time. Like everybody needs everybody needs people to stand up for them when they don't have the ability to speak. He doesn't have the ability to speak right now. So we just making sure that everybody is aware that he's innocent.
Yeah. And also that we continue to, as his wives, just continue to put out true
Okay, I do
information
apologize.
while all these false narratives are being spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not proving beyond a reasonable doubt that this,
Yeah,
and I just
no.
want to, also make a disclaimer in terms of these are sensitive topics talking about, sexual assault and sexual violence, and in no way are we attempting to victim blame anybody or
Yeah.
anything like that.
We're not. We wish the best for everyone in this situation. We don't hold any ill will or animosity towards anyone.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Freedom 3.
Exactly.
Okay, and so basically, you guys are in the process of finding the resources so that he can get an appeal.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, and so where are you guys in that process, and what exactly does that look like?
Well, we know as much, like we follow up with a few lawyers and we get a few different answers from different people, but right now we're in the process of the motion for a new trial. um Once we hear back from that, then we'll be able to make our next steps. But the the actual goal is to actually secure in a really good appeal lawyer now during this process, because we will need somebody to represent us for the motions. So yes.
Yeah. It's just sad, how they do black men who have any type of knowledge, who have any type of leadership. I feel like this society always wants to attack the spirit of the black man. And a lot of the times they do use the black woman and her emotions to destroy the black man and that spirit. Um, it's and I feel like that's just what we're going through right now.
Yeah.
This case, I feel like that's what this has been about. And the detectives, the
Y'all, doesn't the interviewer look like she's kind of like, what? Wait, what did you just say? She looked like she just like is so confused right now after Efru gave her dissertation about how the black woman is being used against the black men and all this other sugar honey iced tea. Check her out. She looked like she ready to get up out of there.
what this has been about. And the detectives, the prosecution, everybody is just trying to paint him out as this bad character and just blow up. When you have such a big light, people are going to try to
They
get in your
attack
shadows.
you.
They want to get all in your shadows and try to blow up the darkness. And
That's just not who he
it's
is.
not
It's
who
just not who
he
he
is.
is.
And a lot of the times, we as a people, we get mad at the system. Like, how can they do this to him? And how can this happen? But they do that to us because that's how we do each other. Like, we allow that to happen. We allow it. like straight in our face, like straight in the people face. And it's like we can't point the finger at the system. We have to take responsibility and look at ourselves, like, and it starts in the home. Like, how do you treat the black man in the home? How you treat your woman, how you treat the children. It starts just right there, like, and how we just treat each other as a community and as a people.
No, I definitely agree with you. And can you just speak at all in terms of like what, as somebody that knows him personally, has experienced him personally, like what is it about kind of like his messaging or his vision that really, made you feel comfortable to, go and be with him on his journey of enlightenment?
Well, I mean, I know people come for different reasons on what they see. Me myself, I actually saw his videos and I was like, oh, he's fine. So I went, yeah,
Okay, well,
I was like,
okay.
let me know more about my chart, astrology, who I am. And then we
Mm-hmm,
started talking and I was like, I really love his energy.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Really love his energy.
I am very I'm very observant, and I did watch a lot before I did finally come into his life.
mm-hmm,
I feel like it's just the whole movement, and uh, a lot of the people on these news broadcasts try to say, "Oh, there's rules. He has all these rules," but I like the way he upholds himself. I like the way his standard and quality of life, quality of character. He inspires and brings out the good, the best out of everybody that's around him.
Yeah.
okay,
Um these so-called rules that people are talking about are MODs. Having integrity, doing the right thing when no one is looking, transparency, being authentic, having compassion, the 42 laws of my yacht. And not only is he teaching these things, but he's actually implementing them and showing others how to implement them in their day-to-day life. Going through generational curses that we all have, the darkness and shadows that we all have, just being a guide um through all of that. And that's what I seen, and that's what it was when I did actually come. um we do a lot of we shadow work. It's all shadow work. We had what's called a real nigga moment, where we had a real nigga moment, something that everybody go through, but we would sit down and actually talk through it and communicate instead of running from it. How we do in our lower nature and our lower self, you know running away from our problems. No, we say it's a real nigga moment. We're gonna go live so we can help our people, show them how to go through these moments
mm-hmm,
and how to get back to a balanced state and a solution when there's problems.
okay,
And you know what, our people not that interested in science like that. So that's when we started with we started to do like characters, more things to grab the people attention.
mm-hmm,
And people just took that out of context, like the
okay,
certain characters that we did. And I feel
okay,
like our trolls started to paint him a picture of him in a negative way. And
mm-hmm,
then when people don't know how to deal with themselves, they just tag along and try to further create that image of what they pay him out to be. But that's not who he is, and they know that. But when you get attention, you getting clout, you
You
getting
getting
money,
money.
people change when money gets involved. Sometimes people change.
okay.
And yeah.
Well, you know, again, like I appreciate, your time and you ladies willing to, come on and discuss, considering the circumstance.
Didn't I tell y'all that that lady was ready to go? She was about tired of them as soon as they got up there, talking all that sugar honey iced tea. Y'all heard her. Well, I appreciate y'all's time. Kind of like, okay, y'all could go now.
Willing to, come on and discuss, considering the circumstances and everything like that, and I wanted to make sure that, it was a safe space for you ladies to, because there's a lot of people that have comments and things like that,
Yeah.
and one thing though would be I want to ask you, just in terms of like feedback to like your critics and things like that. Um, you mentioned that it seemed that they were kind of like piecing everything together to put him on trial as opposed to kind of like the things that he was on trial for. And so within that, there was a lot of content that they could pull from online that a lot of people have a lot of questions about. Some people, would say that, you guys experience him, so your perspective of him is probably more, you have more of an in-depth, view like of him when the cameras are off and things like that might contribute to how you feel about him, which is understandable. But for the people that only kind of saw the antics when, the camera was on, like it was a lot for a lot of people to process. And a lot of it, just with kind of like how he could, you know, deal with a lot of the women in the house, But what I did see though, I saw is Black women that were really, I felt like, loving on this Black man that like catered to him. And I think that like that was really important centering piece because of a lot of the stereotypes that they have of Black women, of us not being able to serve our men and be, submissive, quote unquote, and things like that. And I thought that that was, that's just what I saw. Like I saw genuine love that you guys were giving to him. But from what I pulled from that, and again, this is from my outside perspective, and I don't want to be putting my personal feelings and beliefs into a situation that is your lived experience. But I felt that from what I saw was that, what I learned from that, thoughts that came from that was that us as Black women, we can't really love a Black man through his trauma if he is not able or there at that point of healing himself. And a lot of what people may feel like is that he has been through a lot of trauma himself in his life, and maybe that is a reason why, we may not understand in terms of like the ways that he's dealing with different people or women in his life. And so I just like to keep that in mind too as well when trying to understand, like, why people are led to certain behaviors. And I think that for him, maybe we're missing that a lot of his source of his trauma is his childhood as well.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people, they do say that, you
Mhm.
know, I think that a lot of people are mistaken,
Okay.
because he has healed a lot of that trauma.
Okay.
He's actually helped people. He's in the position, because he has healed that trauma, he's in the position to help other people heal their traumas.
Okay.
And that is why when the majority of people met him, he was on top of a mountain and people came asking him questions on how they can get their life right.
Right.
So when people come into his life, he's such a passionate person that he cares a lot, and he doesn't want to see people doing the wrong thing.
Mhm.
So when these people come into his life and they have traumas themselves, and he's like a coach. He's like trying to tell you, like, okay, don't go that route, don't do this, do this. But sometimes we have an attitude with our coach. We don't want to do stuff that they say. We feel like, oh, fuck you. And we want to curse them out and hit them and throw things at them or storm out the door when he's just trying to help. He was
Okay.
basically just that's all he was trying to do was help people. And a lot of people did come into his life. He treats us very, very well.
Okay.
Everybody was able to at one point they just basically everybody did what they wanted to do.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and um I know that he is just how Indians or white people have Sadhguru, these people have these gurus.
Mm.
I know that he is a guru for black people. And I know that he is a guru for black people. And
Did she just say that with a straight face, y'all? Ephraim, aka Kayla Buckner, said that she knows that Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Chief Papa John Hot Pocket, aka Chief Administrative Segregation, is the guru for all black people. Child, somebody get Ephraim her meds. She ain't take her meds today, y'all. That's what's happening.
black people. And he he triggers traumas, and he shows people their own traumas within themselves. Times when other people are not aware of themselves, and he brings up a certain trauma, or even if it's not him, if a certain trauma
Right.
comes to another person, you know, you have to sit there and deal with it. A part of coming into nature, you are faced with yourself. You're faced with
Okay.
all, your shadows, your demons, and Chief just brings that. He brings that out of people. He shows that to people.
Yeah.
The stuff that we have to work on.
Yeah. And because he holds himself to a very high standard, these people try to get on his standard and most of the time aren't able to do that. But it's not his fault if you're not able to live up to the way that he lives. He holds himself in a very high regard, very high esteem. And so it's not his fault.
Yeah, and regardless of how people think about him, at the end of the day, he's innocent. He's
Mm.
innocent of those charges. The people who do follow us, they are very aware of the characteristics of these people who came and left and came and left, who we seen struggle with polygamy, who we seen be over here and over here. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what people feel about him at this point.
It's like, did he do those charges which was brought against him? No, he didn't. And I don't think enough light is shed on that. All of the light is around other things that doesn't have anything to do with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
even this moment, even what he's going through, how they
Excuse me.
did him in
Sorry.
the court, how the system does black men, black women,
And how the judge caught COVID.
How
How the judge caught.
she caught COVID and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be of high
5-day
standards.
quarantine.
Like,
Yeah.
you're a judge, you're supposed to be above guidelines. Like, you're supposed to be practicing above and beyond, you know?
But they don't care. And that's another thing that's showing us another trauma within the black community, and something that we have to work on within ourselves. He's just a catalyst for, I feel like, black people, and to show us everything we have to work on.
Yeah. And then if you do research on this sort of things, it's like false testimonies and false accusations are the leading cause for black men to be incarcerated at an alarming rate, because later on down the line many people come back and saying, oh, I was upset with them, I didn't get my way,
But at that point, they don't care.
But at that point, they done already spent half of their life fighting to try for their innocence.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a something that needs to be looked at, like false testimonies, false allegations. That's the leading cause, and black
Mm-hmm.
men are very vulnerable to it because the system doesn't care anything about it. If you can have a charge that holds a life sentence and a testimony only be enough for you to be convicted of that for life, there's something wrong with that. If you don't have a reasonable, you can't prove that that happened.
Right.
That shouldn't be
So
just a thing to do, is to charge somebody. I mean, there's people who've murdered people and haven't even got a charge such as that.
I agree. My phone's actually dying. So before we cut out, I just want to give you like time to share any last messages that you want the public to know. And I thank you so much for your time. And we had to make some adjustments. We can always do follow-ups and things like that. I know that we wanted to keep to the time that we had set for today, but
Yeah.
and talk, specifically about the malicious prosecution piece and, the feelings that you guys had in terms of that and trying to didn't understand how he got a life sentence plus 10 years.
Right.
So yeah, what are, any like last messages or just things that you want people to keep in mind when it comes to him and his case? And
Keep in mind.
and sorry not to cut you off, what's, moving forward, in addition to helping him, but like, what are you ladies going to be, doing? Maybe any, goals for yourself, can do both, but, anything that's on the horizon for you both as well.
I think that people should focus on the facts of the case. There was no evidence to prove this. And if there wasn't any evidence to prove this, then how did he get a life sentence without the possibility of parole? That's a very big question. And it needs to be answered. Because for somebody to be.
So I hugged him. And when she's like, no. And I'm like, and when she's like, no. And I'm like, and when she's like, no. And when she's like, no. And I'm, like, you know how it is. Like, it's.
Because for somebody to be